All right. Morning.
Morning.
Okay, first morning that we're trying out this Minyan thing, and God willing, it'll be a tremendous success. Okay, so today we're going to be learning a mimer of Chassidus, Chassidic discourse in English, from the Lubavitcher Rebbe. This was said originally by the Rebbe on the 5th day of the month of Av, which is usually we look at it as a bit of a tragic month. It's the month that the Holy Temple in Jerusalem was destroyed. On Tisha B'Av, the 9th of Av, 4 days after this. This was said on the 5th of Av, 1965. What was the significance of the day? It was the day when the Rebbe stopped saying Kaddish after his mother passed away, almost a year prior. This mimer was edited by the Rebbe in 1988 in honor of the finishing of the Shloshim, the 30 days after the passing of the Rebbe's wife, the Rebbitzin. So, interestingly enough, as morbid as this sounds, it's actually a mimer about death. Well, it's not really about death, it's about the lack of death. About when Mashiach comes, it will be Bilah, Hamaves, Lanetzach. Death will be swallowed forever. There won't be any more death. So there's two aspects about the times of Mashiach. There's a number of aspects, but in this regard, there's Tchias Hamesim, the revival of the dead, where the dead will come back to life. And there's also a separate idea, which is that death will be gone. There will be no more death. So people will come back to life, and also people will live forever. So it's a fascinating piece of work, and it's very enlightening, and hopefully we'll learn a lot, and we'll grow a lot, and we'll implement it into our lives. Here we go. So it's a relatively short mimer. It's only 5 pages. Apologize, it's 4 pages. So you start on the first page over there, Kuf Chaf Aleph. Here we go. Bilah Hamaves Lanetzach Mocha Havayelikim Dimo Me'al Kol Panim. There's a verse in the book of Isaiah, Yeshayahu, says, death will be swallowed forever, and Hashem will wipe the tear from every face. Wipe away the tears. It's actually a song by the famous singer Avraham Fried. That's on the words of this verse. The 4th Chabad Rebbe, the Rebbe Maharash, explains in a mimer with this same opening, he explains, why is it that in the times of Mashiach, the future to come, there will be this idea that death will be swallowed forever, meaning it's not just happenstance. It's like a random thing. Okay, it's a times of miracles, a time of beautiful, wonderful things, a time of a godly time. So let's throw this into the mix as well. Death will be done away with. Death will be canceled. We're in a cancel culture nowadays. Everything's getting canceled. Death will also be canceled. But it's not the way it works. There's a reason why specifically when Mashiach comes, death will be swallowed forever. The reason is because then something else will occur, and this will be a direct result of it. The thing that will occur is, as it says in a verse in Zechariah, it says, Hashem says, I will remove the spirit of impurity from the world. It's because Hashem will remove the spirit of impurity, all negativity, from the world, automatically there will be no more death. Death will be swallowed forever. So we need to understand this, not just hear the words and accept it. We'd like, as Chassidus wants us to internalize godliness and these godly messages. So v'yuvan zeh, this will be understood behektim, by prefacing. Hatam da hamavur bikrod lekamon sha'ayedei chet etzadas nase misa ba'elam. To understand this, we first need to preface with the idea that we're going to elaborate on in a moment, which is, why is there death in the first place? Okay? To understand why death will be swallowed forever because the spirit of impurity will be removed from the world, we need to understand why it was death here in the first place. The reason there's death in the world is because of something that occurred 5,784 years ago, not to the day, but there was a guy, his name was Adam, Eve, Adam and Chava. They were created by Hashem. And on the first day of their existence, Hashem told them, do not eat from this tree. You can eat from every other tree. They were in Gan Eden. They were in the Garden of Eden. And God said, you can eat from any tree in this garden. There's one tree over here, right here. You don't eat from the fruit. And he ate from the fruit. She ate from the fruit. This is what caused there to be death. As we'll see momentarily, we'll elaborate on this. If Adam would not have eaten from the tree, people would not have died. There would be no death in the world. Death was introduced because of this sin. So we see that death and the sin of the tree, eating from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, that's what it's called, have a connection. So, the idea is like this. The ayedei chet eitzadas, we're on the fifth line from the top. What happened? What actually occurred by the sin of the tree, besides for the actual sin, which was eating the fruit? What happened was that good and evil became mixed. Good and evil became mixed. Usually what's understood is that after Adam ate from the tree, evil was introduced into the world. There was no evil before that. It was perfect, it was pure. But here there's an interesting wording used here which says that good and evil became mixed, as if there was good and evil both together. They were all both around, they both existed, and they became mixed after this. What does this mean? The existence of negativity existed even before the sin. Even before Adam ate from the tree, negativity existed. The difference was that before the sin, positivity and negativity, holiness and the opposite, were two distinct worlds. They didn't touch each other. They were separate from each other. And as it's known, it says in Kabbalah, at the beginning of creation, the realm of klipos, let's translate that as negativity, existed beneath the worlds of holiness. That's what it says. Through the sin of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, there became a mixture of the good and the negativity. The good and evil became mixed together. What does it mean, mixed? Mixed means something very specific. Shehara me'urav behatoiv, vehatoiv behara. That the negativity, the evil, became mixed into the good, and the good became mixed into the evil. To the extent that there's no good that doesn't have negativity in it, and there's no negativity that doesn't have good in it. In our world, we have this weird situation that the good and the evil became mixed, to the extent that there's no good that doesn't have a little bit of evil in it, and there's no evil that doesn't have a little bit of good in it. What's a good example of this? I don't know. You could have a really tasty meal. It's good. I don't know if that's the proper definition of good in this context, but you have a delicious meal, and it causes you stomach problems. How did the two go together? It was so delicious. It was so nice. It gives you stomach problems. You go to shul, or here in shul, right? You go to shul to pray with the minyan, and I don't know, you're in a rush, it's uncomfortable, whatever it is. Hopefully that's not the case here. And the two just go hand in hand. There's nothing that's perfect. There's no perfection, okay? And so to the other way around, there's no negativity that doesn't have some sort of smidge of good in it, okay? You can even think of the worst people in our history who are truly, truly evil people. I think it's legitimate to say that with all their evil and all their negativity, they thought they were doing something good. I don't know if there's anybody that did anything truly evil and thought they were doing something truly evil. They wanted to do something evil. They knew other people perceived it as wrong, possibly, but I can't say this nail on the expression is a nail. I forgot. But I can't say it as firm as a fact. But it seems to me that even the most evil of people, they thought they had some sort of philosophy that they were doing something good. But this is the reality. Going further, the line starts with v'zehu. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 9 lines from the top. V'zehu mashakosov. This is what it's written in the verse in the beginning of the Chumash. V'ato penishloach yodoi v'lokach gam me'etz hachayim v'yochal l'chai l'yolam. There's a very strange verse. It says in the beginning of the whole story. Adam eats from the tree, yeah? Then Hashem says, the Torah says this. Hashem says, now we got to do something about this. Because maybe Adam will send his hand, he'll take from the tree, there was another tree, the tree of life, it's a chaim. He'll take from the tree of life, he'll eat from it, and he'll live forever. In other words, Hashem is saying, we got to get, Adam has to leave Garden of Eden, because maybe he'll eat from the tree of life as well, which he was allowed to eat from beforehand, right? If he wanted to, he could eat from any tree, except from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Tree of life he was allowed to eat from. But once he ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, which he wasn't supposed to eat from, Hashem says he's got to get out of here because maybe he's going to eat from the tree of life and he'll live forever. It's a very strange thing to say. Why? Because seemingly, Adam, the first man, was created in a way at the very outset that he was supposed to live forever. In fact, the whole reason, the basic reason why he wasn't allowed to eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil is because it would result in his death. God said, don't eat from the tree or else you will die. Skip the parentheses. What do we care if he eats from the tree of life and will live forever? He was supposed to live forever. That's the way he was designed. He was supposed to live forever. He ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Then Hashem says, oh, 1 second, he can't eat from the tree of life because he's going to live forever. He was supposed to live forever. You tell me it's a punishment. This is a punishment on top of a punishment. What's going on here? The Alter Rebbe, the first Rebbe of Chabad, explains, to answer this question, the Mikivan Sha'yidei Chetetadas, Na is Ariv Rabbe Ha'odom Lochein, the Ato La'achrei Chetetadas, Yishlach Sheish Penishloach Yodoi Goymer V'chai Lo'elam, Ki Kishiyeh Hu Chai Lo'elam, Gam Hara Mu'urav Bo Yelekim Lo'elam. What was the concern? Before he ate from the tree of knowledge, it was fine for him to live forever. He ate from the tree of knowledge, now, make sure he doesn't live forever. What's the problem? Because this is exactly the point. When he ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil became mixed. Good got permeated into the evil, and evil became permeated into the good. So in other words, Adam, the first man, he ate from the tree. He now had evil permeated within him. He used to be pure and good. Now he has evil within himself. If he eats from the tree, he'll live forever. From the tree of life, he'll live forever. Great. But the evil inside him will also live forever. And that is unacceptable. Evil has to die. Evil can't live forever. If he eats from this tree of life, the evil will live forever. So therefore, Hashem had to send him out of Gan Eden, out of the Garden of Eden, so that the evil within him should not live forever. Yeah, it's a good thing. Based on this, we can say, that through the sin of the knowledge of good, the sin of eating from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, resulted in death in the world, is in order that there shouldn't be a sustainment, an everlasting evil. Very interesting. We just flipped the whole thing on its head. The whole reason why Adam was decreed death upon him, right? He ate from the tree of knowledge, now he has to die. But also, he shouldn't eat from the tree of life because then he'll live forever. And we explained the reason why he shouldn't live forever is because it's not about him. It's about the evil inside him, that the evil shouldn't live forever. And this is also why he had to die. It's the same reason. The reason why death was decreed upon Adam was not only a punishment for not listening, it was also that the evil inside him shouldn't last forever. So the fact that there's death in the world is a positive thing to it. Like we said, everything negative has something positive to it. There's a positive thing to death. As scary as death is and as horrible as it is sometimes, the reason why death exists is so that evil should have an expiration date. The milk has an expiration date. The cookies have an expiration date. Even the coffee has an expiration date. Death also has an expiration date. It needs to have one, because if it didn't have one, it would just keep on going, and that is unacceptable, as we said. Okay, we're going to start the second paragraph, at the bottom of the page. Yesh Loimar, says the Rebbe, the Hamisa be'olam shenasasa ayedei chet etzadas hi mesubeves mehachet atzmoi. What are we saying till now? We said till now that Adam, as he's called in Hebrew, that's why I'm calling him Adam, not Adam. Adam, when he ate from the tree of knowledge, he was punished. He was punished with death. But not only was he punished with death as a punishment for not listening, he was punished with death so that the evil inside him should not live forever, as we just said. But the Rebbe goes further. The Rebbe says that the sin and the result of it are not two disconnected ideas. He ate from the tree. Now there's a problem that exists. Now he has evil inside him because of this. So now something has to be done about it. So now he has to die so that the evil shouldn't last forever. No, it's more than that. The death in the world that happened through the sin was a direct result of the sin itself. This sin of eating from the tree of knowledge, the direct continuation, the direct flow, right after that, the next step from that, the outcome of it directly was death. Is that clear what I just said? In other words, a good example of this. If I take my hand and put it in, God forbid, somebody takes a hand and puts it into a fire, they're not getting punished by being burnt. Not a punishment. I told you not to put your hand in the fire. You put it in, look, now you got burnt. It's not a punishment, it's a consequence. Putting the hand in the fire direct results in getting burnt. That is the result. So too over here. The direct result of the sin was death. It wasn't just a punishment. We'll see what this means more tomorrow, because now we have to start on davening. Wishing everybody a great day. I forgot to mention, today's class was sponsored by an anonymous donor who showed up last minute and sponsored today's Chassidus class. If you'd like to sponsor a future class, please connect and reach out.